At the end of February 2024, the Ukrainian armed forces officially declared, "Oops, we did it again." What did they mean by that? February 2022, Putin declares that during the first days of the full-scale invasion, all Ukrainian aviation and air defense systems were destroyed. 2 years have passed, and here's what the supposedly destroyed Ukrainian Air Force is doing. Overall, in just a couple of weeks, at the end of February and beginning of March, Ukrainians shot down over a dozen enemy aircraft. Among them, a dozen Su-34 fighter bombers valued at $33 to $50 million each. Although there have been even more valuable trophies recently. The Russians unleashed a full-scale war having 9 A-50s, large 4-engine aircraft based on the Il-76. It's an airborne early warning and control aircraft, a powerful radar that can monitor enemy aviation and air defense systems within a 600-kilometer radius and adjust missile strikes. Considering the value of such aircraft and the highly trained and invaluable crew, the Russians always kept the A-50 away from the front line. But not far enough. On January 14th, an A-50 was shot down and crashed into the Sea of Azov. Along with it, Ukrainians also downed an Il-22M1, another rare airborne command post. Perhaps it managed to reach the airfield, but its career as an aircraft has definitely ended. The downing of the A-50 was the first destruction of a long-range early warning and control aircraft since 1969, when a North Korean MiG-21 shot down an American EC-121. At the time of the attack, the Russian A-50 was 100 to 150 kilometers away from the front line. In theory, Ukrainian S-300s or Patriots could have reached it, but the Russians insisted that it was friendly fire from their own air defense. Ironically, the A-50 itself is an element of air defense and is supposed to coordinate it. However, things became even more mysterious. Another A-50 was shot down on February 23rd, but this time it was located as far as 250 kilometers from the front line. So how did the Ukrainians increase the pace of destroying Russian frontline aviation so much and reach so far? In reality, no one knows for sure. One of the versions has already been dubbed the Wandering Patriot. It refers to the American air defense system that lurks near the front line, launches missiles at enemy aircraft, and immediately changes position. The Norwegian NASAMS system can operate in a similar manner. However, this doesn't explain the downing of the second A-50 beyond the reach of both these systems. Forbes, for example, put forward its version. The S-200 is a Soviet missile from the 1960s with a range of up to 300 kilometers. It's a powerful weapon. When detonated near the target, it disperses about 10,000 metal elements. However, these old missiles are difficult to store and transport. That's why over 10 years ago Ukraine withdrew them from service. But it seems that in a desperate situation, they managed to restore or obtain at least several of them from allies. The situation seems hopeless as Ukrainian air defense systems need to protect thousands of kilometers of their land. Ukraine has only a few batteries of Patriots and similar modern systems capable of shooting down cruise and ballistic missiles attacking Ukrainian cities daily. Furthermore, Patriot and NASAMS batteries launch missiles of American production, and the United States hasn't supplied any ammunition to Ukraine since December. Although the necessity of these supplies is evident, a Patriot launch costs several $million, whereas the enemy aircraft it shoots down are worth at least tens of millions. The Russian industry produces approximately 20 combat aircraft per year. Thus, according to Forbes calculations, the Russians lose aircraft 20 times faster than they can replace them. Aviation has become a key factor in the war. On March 24, 2023, 10 Russian Su-35 fighters attacked the city of Sumy in northeastern Ukraine and dropped new types of munitions, guided aerial bombs. These are old Soviet satellite-guided aerial bombs with deployable wings, similar to NATO's GLSDB. The effective range of even the simplest guided aerial bombs reaches 50 kilometers, and the explosive power looks like this. Such strikes can even be felt in underground shelters. The depth of the crater after such an explosion reaches up to 10 meters. Due to delays in support from the key allies, Ukrainians cannot hold back the Russian onslaught. The enemy army senses its chances, and planes conduct more bombings closer to the front line, dropping hundreds of guided aerial bombs per day to suppress Ukrainian forces and advance further. Avdiivka is all about guided aerial bombs, wrote Yegor Tsukor, a fighter from the 3rd Airborne Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. It feels like the largest number of air bombs dropped in such a small area of land in the entire history of humanity. Aerial bombs simply destroyed the strongholds that Ukrainians used to hold Avdiivka.
Just this week alone, Russian terrorists have already used 400 guided aerial bombs, about 60 Shahed drones, and over 40 missiles. No state in Europe could withstand such pressure, such evil alone. Therefore, it is important now to be together with everyone who values life and does not want this terror to come home to other nations.
Only serious losses and introduction of advanced long-range weapons to the Ukrainian Air Force can force the Russians to retreat. Thus, after the destruction of 15 of their aircraft in a row at the beginning of March, the commander of the Ukrainian Air Force announced, "The sky is clear." Not a single enemy aircraft was detected near the front line. Overall, since the beginning of the invasion, Russia has lost about 350 aircraft and a similar number of helicopters. According to various estimates, the Russian Air Force currently has about 250 to 310 Su-34s and Su-35s. In contrast, Ukraine has several times fewer and more outdated combat aircraft, and few modern air defense systems passed on by allies. Even in such conditions, they're constantly risking at the front lines, creatively using long-forgotten S-200 systems and doing everything to defend their land and sky. And they do it extremely effectively. The pilots of the 350 downed Russian aircraft would certainly agree with that.